Hey everyone, today in this video we'll be doing a component overview of Cross of Iron. This is the first squad leader gamette or expansion. It came out a year or two after the initial squad leader, after it became clear to Avalon Hill that the game system was catching on, becoming pretty popular. So this is the first gamette. You do need the original squad leader game in order to play this. As you can see, it's a much thinner box, and it's meant to just expand the order of battle for the Eastern Front. So yeah, we'll open this up and we'll take a look inside. So the first thing we have here, we've got another rulebook here, similar in size and scope to the original squad leader. You'll notice here it starts actually on page 37, and as the text here explains, this just kind of picks up right where the original squad leader left off, just adds some enhancements. Originally these were supposed to be considered all optional rules, but Avalon Hill kind of got ahead of themselves and they went a little crazy with this. There's two expansions that followed, and then of course Advanced Squad Leader. It's not without its criticism. Part of what made Squad Leader so attractive was the fact that it was rather straightforward once you get the basics down. And Cross of Iron began to introduce a little bit of complexity that some people found a little bit objectionable. We'll take a quick look through the rulebook here. Very similar to the original rulebook here. Just some changes here. And errata for the original rules that you're going to need in order to play with these new rules here. One of the interesting things right here, this first section here, section 63 for onboard artillery, actually completely replaces the rules of section 63 in the squad leader rulebook. They tell you to go ahead and throw your old counters out unless you want to go back and play some of those original scenarios. So you got a pretty big burden right here as soon as you jump into the first expansion, before you even get to the first scenario, kind of just refining that. So similar to squad leader, programmed instruction is used as the method for which to kind of learn all these rules. So you go through, you read the rules until you get to the next section, and then just like before it'll tell you to stop and then play the scenario before you continue on. So, quite a bunch of new rules here. It introduces lower level places on the battlefield, such as gullies and trenches and stuff like that. New rules for support weapons. We've got some new types of units here. We've got some cavalry on this page here. Yeah, so more experienced infantry rules, snipers. All of this stuff will be familiar to people who are familiar with Advanced Squad Leader. Scope of the scenario of the gamette's a little smaller. There's only 8 scenarios that are included. So once you get work through these rules, you got 8 more scenarios to play. So got some abbreviations here, and then in the back there's actually listings for the new armor that's provided. There's a chart here that lists the specifications of each weapon and armored fighting vehicle in the system. So, that's the rules. So here we have the some of the new counters in the system here. We've got these 5/8 inch counters. These right here are some of your support weapons for the Russians and the Germans there. And then on the back, we've got some paratroop landing tokens and some of the vehicles there, and then some cavalry and bridge tokens. And right here we've got the German vehicles. There's a whole bunch of vehicles that are included in this gamette. Not all of them are actually used by the official scenarios. Avalon Hill did subsequently come out with a pad. They're called the Scenario 100s, which are 10 additional scenarios for Cross of Iron. They make use of some of the new AFVs, as do some scenarios that were published as part of the General, Avalon Hill's in-house magazine there. So I've got some more Russian vehicle counters here. As you can see, it's pretty extensive. And then we've got some new infantry and other markers here. These black markers here, those represent the German SS. And then we've got some new squads for both the Russians and the Germans here. Another notable addition here, these are actually turret markers. They completely changed the way that AFV tanks with movable turrets are used in this system. You actually have a separate counter on top of your AFV for purposes of tracking your covered arc. And then we've got a few counters here for some of the minor nationalities that show up here in this first gamette, and then a whole bunch of new system markers. We've got target acquisition there, berserk units, and then some rules for the crest lines of different terrain, and new rules for fire as well. So similar to the previous base set, we've got the scenarios here. Like I said, it includes 8 scenarios for you to play through, 13 through 20. And then a revised quick data reference card here on the back. So it's expanding a little more in complexity, as you can see there from the original one. And Cross of Iron comes with 1 new board for you to play. It's used by the new scenarios. This is board 5. And as you can see, pretty similar in scope to what you see in the original Squad Leader set. So that does it. That's Cross of Iron. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. The gamettes only actually get more complex as you go on from here. So, all right, so that's what's in the box. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.